I got that California, got that
Whis, angel, instructor, and a very proud teacher, a highly intelligent being that seems to possess infinite amount of knowledge and boundless strength, one of the strongest characters in all of Universe 7. Despite his high stature and importance, unlike Beerus, Whis seems adequate and well-mannered. He dislikes poor table manners and is often considerate towards people who might even seem quite insignificant. Despite this, he either seems like he cares way too little, if not at all, towards Beerus' destruction, indicating while he's not malevolent, he is at the very least indifferent. This is even seen when the Grand Kai says the angels are the only beings who won't be destroyed when their respective universes is being erased. Now you might ask right away, okay, what does this all have to do with Kid Buu? How does that even remotely explain a connection between Whis and Buu? In fact, if you remember from the show, we were told pretty clearly that Beerus created Buu. And you're 100% right, except you're also totally 100% wrong. And that's all thanks to Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball himself, who stated in an interview back in 2014, stating the following. Though in the manga Kaioshin said that Beerus made him, the truth is that one called Buu was not actually created by Beerus, but has existed since time immemorial. He cycled between rampages and long hibernation. During numerous iterations of the cycle, he absorbed the evil elements of mankind, becoming steadily more violent. Beerus merely knew the means of calling Buu from out of his long slumber. Since the current Buu is a slightly different life form due to the changes brought about when the evil Buu was expelled, it is not known whether he'll still go into long hibernation. Now that's one hell of a retcon if you ask me. This is something that Toriyama seemed to clearly give some thought to. He says that Buu is a character who existed since the dawn of time, meaning ever since the universe existed, Buu was there. This is of course a clear contradiction to what Toriyama said in the manga. He clearly stated that Beerus made him. So again, why the change? And how does this change connect to Whis himself? This is the part where I speculate that Whis did have a hand in creating Buu. Or rather, let's change that to Toriyama intended this change for a reason that will be revealed later in the series, but may or may have not changed his mind. Thus, I cannot 100% prove this is a fact, but what I can is give you some evidence from Dragon Ball Super that supports my theory. Now the first question comes in mind, why would such a good and kind character like Whis create a monster like Kid Buu? In fact, how can we be certain that Whis is able to create a life form as he is not a god of creation? I'll answer all of this shortly. But I'd like to first point to something Toriyama emphasized on his interview in 2014, which was after the release of the movie A Battle of Gods, and the conception of Whis and Beerus in that movie, as that he clearly states that Buu existed ever since the beginning of time, going on rampages, destroying civilizations, and going into long hibernations. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, yes, this is exactly the description of Beerus' job, destruction. So if Buu was destroying planets and eventually gods, why didn't Beerus stop him? Surely Whis and Beerus are more than equipped in dealing with Kid Buu. Therefore, Buu poses no threat to Whis or Beerus, but clearly interfered in their job. But that's the thing, if you remember, Toriyama also added something else to the origin of the Kais. If you remember, when the Elder Kai was released from the Z-Sword, he explains that the person who sealed him was jealous of his awesome magical capabilities. Old Kai claimed that he was tricked. However, the dialogue that caught my attention was when he mentions that this villain was not as terrible as Majin Buu, but still pretty bad. This could imply two things. Is that either Beerus wasn't as evil as Buu, or that he wasn't as strong as Majin Buu. I believe either or could make sense, since Elder Kai is much older than the events of Kid Buu turning into Fat Buu. This could imply that Beerus was still very young and may have not developed his strength to what we know today, because even Whis tells us that Beerus had trained hard to get to this point, and wasn't just born with this exact power level. Additionally, Whis also mentions how attaining the self of mastery movement, aka Ultra Instinct, is still very difficult for even gods of destruction to achieve, implying that even at this stage, God of Destructions are still training for it. But then again, even if we say Beerus wasn't as powerful as Buu, that still doesn't prove anything yet. Thus, if Buu was a threat, surely Whis would have sealed him, as he claimed to have the ability at the end in the Goku Black arc, but that is unless he needed him for a while, maybe until Beerus is mature enough to take on the role of the God of Destruction. This is where my theory might take some precedence over what I said earlier. If you remember, when the Tournament of Power was set up, the Grand Priest explains how Universe 7 is the second lowest mortal level in all universes. This level is not only attributed to the average power level of the universe, but rather the development and condition of that universe. And the main reason why I'm highlighting this is because of this exchange between the God of Destruction and the God of Creation. This is basically confirming the importance of Beerus' role, because despite his seemingly senseless destruction, it is for the greater good, or at least that's what we are led to believe, and Whis as an angel assigned to Universe 7 clearly knows this, which would give him a clear motivation to create someone like Kid Buu as a short-term plan. Though you might ask me, well MoodZi, since Whis is infinitely more powerful than Buu and can basically travel around the entire universe in minutes, why doesn't he do the job himself? Which honestly would make sense, but that would actually be a problem, as Whis is an angel and it's illegal for him to assume the job of God of Destruction. This is evident by the time he showed extreme discontent when he realized that Trunks used a time machine. Whis also does not interfere in fights despite having the power to end them. Guaso also shows discontent by Zamasu's wish to destroy humans, saying it's not his job to do so despite having the strength, which further solidifies the fact that he's committed to his role, and fighting villains like Frieza does not interest him. His job is making sure that the God of Destruction is good enough to do his job. So now that we established a motivation, we are still yet to prove that he's able to create Buu. And this is the confusing part, to be honest, because Majin Buu seems like a character exclusive only to Universe 7. Because as of me making this video right now, we have never seen a Majin character in any other universe, even the Tournament of Power, yet we are told that Buu existed since the beginning of time. Which that may sound like he's an essential part of the universe. That screams to me that someone and somebody made him since the dawn of time, and the only character I can think of that could do is Whis, as angels are the only characters who aren't destroyed when the universe are erased. This implies that they weren't born or created in the respective universes. So for Whis to preserve the life of Universe 7, he created Buu, and like Toriyama also stated, is that Buu wasn't as evil, but became steadily more aggressive as mankind grew evil, meaning Buu might have been more tame and less crazy than the Buu we have seen in the flashback. Now you might say that if Whis created Buu, then why was Buu trying to kill the gods of creation, knowing that killing them would kill Beerus? Let's not forget that a huge part of this equation is Bibidi. He was the one who knew how to wake up Buu, and perhaps manipulated Kid Buu to an extent, as we know that Bibidi and Babidi have the power to control people with evil hearts. So it's likely that he influenced Kid Buu to kill the Kaioshins. Now, as convincing as some of the stuff I said in this video right now, there's a huge flaw in this theory, is that Whis does not seem to recognize Majin Buu when he first saw him. Although Majin Buu looks different than Kid Buu, yes, surely Whis would recognize his creation, or Majin Buu would recognize him. But none of that happens, though we could assume that either Buu forgot or Whis knew but decided not to mention anything for some reason. Perhaps this was also an oversight by Toriyama. Maybe he wanted to implement Majin Buu's backstory but most likely forgot. Because I have no idea why would Toriyama just change something for absolutely no reason. Like yes, he does add more context to some characters, like naming Android 17 and 18 Lapis and Lazuli, but again all those are additions rather than changes. I feel like Majin Buu's backstory wasn't explored enough, if not at all, after Toriyama retconned his origins. I feel like Toriyama and Toei could really implement this in the next Dragon Ball Super arc, where we learn more of Majin Buu's origins. Why is he so similar to Beerus in his role, and what is the source of his creation? Because like I said, there is no 100% proof as of yet to say Whis created him. The only thing I can say is since he existed since the beginning of time, someone had to place him there. And for a reason, since we have never seen any Majin characters before. And we can't say the Kaioshins were responsible in making him since he predates them. So to me, it had to be an angel or some character that we have never seen before. Anyways guys, those are just my thoughts. This is just a theory after all. It's a fun way to look at things. So if you enjoyed this video, then please slap a like on it. It really does motivate me. Also, please let me know if you enjoy these type of content. Like, I know a lot of people like what if videos, theory videos. I can do a lot of different types of videos and different type of content if you guys are interested. So if you want to let me know what kind of videos you would like, then please follow me on Twitter. There you could engage with me far easier than the comment section. But anyways, I hope you guys still like this video, so if you enjoyed, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace.